Good morning. This is a reflection on lesson 308 in A Course in Miracles, and it says, "This instant is the only time there is." This instant is the only time there is. I love this lesson, this thought, this concept that this instant, an instant, you can't even measure it. It's like faster than my fingers snapping. That's the only time there is. And then it goes in to say, but time doesn't exist at all, because time is just a construct or a mechanism by which we organize things in the world. And the organization is really done by thought. I don't know if that's what the lesson intended me to think about, but I just share what I think about. So this instant is the only time there is. Really got me thinking. Of course, there's no future and there's no past. And I take that for granted as a deep intuitive knowing, right? That of course there's no future. It just exists in the mind. And then you're like, well, yeah, but eventually the future comes, as if there's like a coming toward us of some mythical future thing that existed out there, like it was tangible. No, it only exists in the mind. All we are doing is moving through one instant to another instant to another instant. It's just constant movement of whatever. Or it's non-movement, but everything's moving, really. It's at an energetic level at the very least. So there's nothing that stays the same from one instant to the next. And that includes like our perception, I guess. I don't know why I wanted to say that, but it's like our mind makes up time, as if we move from one moment to the next, or we watch the clock, this weird thing that just clicks from 1 minute to the next minute to the next minute, as if that's a tangible thing, right? What is that? It's just some machinery that's saying, oh, it's displaying a different digital light on a screen. And we take that as like, that's the time. And it's this agreed upon shared hallucination that we have, that there's time. And like even our calendar, somebody made it up at some point that we have 365 days in a year, and they're broken down into 12 chunks and 30 to 31 days. And what's a day? Just a rotation around the sun. Well, it's not a rotation. It's what do you call that? A circum something around the sun. Rotation is what we do on our axis. I don't know things. So anyway, that is like a happening. Like we know there's movement. We're moving, because that's what gives us the perception that light is changing, that there's light and dark in our experience. So all it is physical experience. And without thought, we have no concept. Time doesn't exist without thought, right? This idea of time. So there is no future. All that we have is now and now and now and now and now. And there is no past. All we had was a memory. All we have now is a thought memory, a thought of something that occurred, some movement that happened that really caught us. And we're like, ooh, that got imprinted on me in a moment. Like what's getting imprinted on us right now is going to be considered some mythical past at some mythical future point where we conjure up that image in the moment. And every time, it's no surprise to me now that they've already done tests, like experiments, where they're like, every time you recall a memory, you change it in some way. The mind has a way of coloring it with how you feel right now. And that's why these types of healing modalities work, to heal PTSD and old wounds and all of the things that we think we need healed from, is, I think, because whatever we're conjuring up a memory now, it doesn't exist right now. That moment doesn't exist. Yet we're applying how we feel right now to that moment. So a lot of people will use like, let's reparent ourselves. Let's talk nicely to our past, our child self. Let's apply tenderness to a situation. Let's say you did all you could. Don't blame you. I don't blame you. Whatever talking you want to do, because that helps us feel into the present moment and to the thought we're conjuring up about what had happened in our lives. And so we change it in that moment so that it loosens its grip on us. So yeah, of course that works. But what blew my mind, because like I was saying at the beginning, I take this for granted as such a fundamental truth, that it blew my mind the other day when I was talking with somebody, and she's much farther along in years, like much farther along, like double my age. And just for context, not that that matters, because she's such a youthful, I love talking with her. And so we were talking, and I brought up that whole, like, because some clients, and myself included, will get caught up in like what's on the news and what's had the chaos in the world, and it's so terrible right now, like it's never been terrible before. And then it's like, yeah, but right now it's worse. Is it? It depends on how you're viewing things, isn't it? It's all in thought. It's all in your mind, how you're viewing the world right now. There is no objective reality. There is no objective truth that we all agree upon. But we try to say, but yeah, of course it's worse now. You're delusional if you don't think so. Okay, that's your story, right? So that all aside, I was talking with her, and I brought up this concept of like, yeah, and all we have is now, 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 now. And it was like this just simple little pointing that now is all, and now, we used to think now was some future place. No, it's just now. Now. And it was like all the light bulbs went off and the eyeballs, like I was one of those, like, and now whether she felt that way or not, that's what I perceived as like, I can't take this stuff for granted. We gotta keep talking about it, because thought is the suffering of the world. It's the suffering. It's what makes us think there's some objective truth out there that we all need to grab onto. No, we only have our own perceptions to continually try to let go of, really. So that made me think about so many things. This idea that I want to go back to good or bad, these labels we put on things, but also that if all we have is now, it's the only place where solutions can be found, where decisions can be made, where actions can be taken, right? And I say we in what I want to say because I talk to so many people about this, and just with the work I do. So it's like we think that I shame myself because I haven't done something yet. I haven't taken some action, or I have anxiety because I'm anticipating that I know I want to be doing something and I'm not, but yet I think I'm in some future point, that's where I want to get to, but I'm stifled right now from taking action because I'm like, it's overwhelming or whatever it is. There's this like dissonance between now version of me versus some past version of me versus some future person of me. And it's all made up, isn't it? First of all, the person is made up. That's also what this made me think of, is that this personality, this ego, this selfing mechanism, I like to use that because words are baggagey. They have a lot of baggage, like ego. It's like instantly that puts something in people's minds and it glosses over the point. The selfing mechanism, the thing that says there is a real person here that has like thoughts and feelings, and they care about certain things and they're mad about certain things, and like all of that selfing is reinforcing this idea that there is some objective entity, tangible self that you can feel and touch. And it's all made of thought, isn't it? It's all made of thought. My ideas about myself, I know my life story, I know my hopes and dreams, I know what triggers me, all of those things. I feel like, oh, that makes me me. Like, as if somebody could come up and hug that thing, as if somebody could come up and like interact with, like feeling it, smelling it, tasting it. You know what I mean, right? Like as if they could see it. All they can see is this body, these molecules, this body that is a sensing organ that feels vibration and gets sweaty and has emotions bubble up that turn into tears. Like we're just a big hot mess of soup of sensation and liquids. And we turn that into meaning. We're like, oh, that hurt. That's so bad. And so that's why I want to get into good and bad. Like, we label everything on some spectrum of good and bad. It could be minor, like a little bit unpleasant, a little bit pleasant. But rarely are we ever resting in pure neutrality. And a lot of times we're at the far extremes, like, oh, that's the worst thing that's ever happened or I've ever felt. And oh, I'm so mad. Or yay, this is the best feeling ever, I've got to share it. And you see that manic in people, right? Sometimes when they are on a high and they just got to share it, and that's good, and they want to share it, and it's beautiful. And I'm speaking from my own experience, like, I want everybody to be included and feel this. And then it kind of integrates back down into somewhere else on the spectrum, because nothing stays the same, like we already know. So it made me think about how, like, sensing into every single instant, because all we have is now. Am I making something out of nothing? Am I applying a label to an experience I'm having on the inside? Usually it's sensation I'm thinking about. Like, oh, I feel this sensation rising, usually a hot flash, because it starts with nausea, like a twinge of nausea. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. And instantly my mind is like trying to run away from the feeling. Like, it's like instantly labels that twinge as bad, as undesirable, as something to get away from, something to dissociate from, ignore, thinking, oh, it'll just go away if I just ignore it. But oftentimes, if I really feel into it, it dissipates just as fast as it came on. And that's, if I take the time, like if I create that pause before labeling good or bad, it just is. Have you ever tried that? The sensation itself doesn't have an inherent good or badness to it. There is a moment where it's just sensation. Even what I've noticed is, even when I've had it turns into a really intense, what I would call bad sensation, there's a instant where it's just sensation. I'm like, oh my God, what if I can elongate that instant into a half a second, into a second of not labeling it as undesirable or pain or angst or anxiety, and it's just a sensation that wants to move and release gently from the body. It's just information that we can look at and say, oh, okay. And then it moves out of the body. And that's hard with the really intense ones, I know. But it was fascinating to me as I started this practice to notice, oh, there's an instant there where things are they just are. Everything just is. We wouldn't even have a personality to bolster, to keep re-solidifying if we rested more and more, I think, in that instant where things just are. Because I have no desire, no need to do anything, to even make a video. But there's a personality, ego part of me that's like, I'm going to do 365 things in a row. And I've always wanted to read this Course in Miracles book, and it was gifted to me, and I'm going to see it through, because I never see anything through. And that is all thought, isn't it? That is all thought. I don't even have to be doing this right now. But something in me is really enjoying it. I'm learning a lot along the way. And my brain loves learning things. It loves the new hit. Maybe it's a dopamine release. I don't know. But there's some chemical in my body that really loves learning. And this is one avenue for that, as well as I have really been wanting to see how to grow through finally doing 365 or something. So anyway, that's like, I was just wanted to say, none of this even has to happen, because it's all ego. It's all selfing. It's all thought. It's all of that I just said was all just me making thoughts and meanings when nothing needs to happen at all, to be totally equanimous, totally neutral, but something in me is like, ooh, I like some of these sensations. It feels like I'm doing something. I feel like I'm growing. I feel like I'm changing. I love the newness of learning. So whatever that is for you, it usually starts with some sensation in the body that says, ooh, I want more of that. Or, ooh, I don't want any more of that. Let's not even think about that. So that's what this lesson made me think of. All we have is this instant, and this instant is pretty neutral. That's all that exists right now. Is I hear like sound is happening. There's that whole tree in the forest thing too that I love. It's like if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound? Well, what is sound? Where does sound exist? There's vibration happening. Like on that muffler, there was just vibration. It's just movement. And then it went through the air. Again, I don't know how things work. It just went through the air and it wobbled my eardrums. But even that is still just movement. Where's the sound happening? What is sound? Where is what I would call the tone or the flavor of that sound, the And even that was just vibration happening. But it made a sound. The sound is just in here because we all hear things differently. We all see things differently too. And that fascinates me. Like, what does your color palette look like? Is it slightly more sepia toned? Is it more vibrant than mine? Is it like, are your greens greener and because they've done experiments now, they know that there's certain people, and I think it correlates with certain other skills, or if you want to call them that, abilities, but they have more grades of variation in the color scheme itself. So in green, in like hunter green or whatever, frog green, these words don't mean anything because again, we'd all have a different green in mind when we say those words, but they can prove now that there's more variation. There's like colors that a lot of us don't even recognize. We would call them like, I don't even know what to call that. But these people see it, and because we only have one word called green or blue, it's their perception that says, whoa, what are they going to call it? Is it more of the green or is it more of the blue? So that's just to say, we all see things, experience things. We all interpret our body sensations differently, our visual field, our auditory field. And so there is no one reality. There just isn't. And I take that for granted. And I guess that's why when I told myself, oh my God, I take this for granted, I got all like, dang it, don't take it for granted because it's not a fundamental truth for everyone. There's a lot of suffering because we see things so differently, yet we think there's some objective reality that we all need to get behind, or some cause we all have to believe in. But no, we don't. We are all unique bowls of soup, just molecules and liquid and then everything else is thought. Time is thought. Our personalities are thought. The thought that we have to do anything at all is a thought. That there's something to be done is all a thought. And I think that's a big one. That's a real big one. That anything at all has to be done. I don't know why that one's sticking with me. I think it's the times that we feel, and I hear other people talk about this too. There's just this, we're on the like verge of some turning point, some transformation, some tipping point, something. There, I don't even know what it is, what you call it, but there's some that a lot of people feel that things are coming to a point, whatever that is. And I'm hopeful that I know it is. It's all like, there is no good or bad, right? We talked about that. But change is happening. And I think maybe this is what it is. is the realization that change, all there is change. And that the mind is what makes everything what it is. And Shakespeare was a mystic, was a freaking Shakespeare. I think he said in Hamlet, again, I don't know things. There is no good, I'm butchering this. There is no good or bad except thinking makes it so. And it was like, dude, you were speaking the truth way back in, well, whenever you were alive. 1500s, 1200s. I love people who know history. I just like, oh, talk to me about dates. I don't remember a damn thing. But Shakespeare, I think, said, and I think it was Hamlet, it said, there is no good or bad except thinking makes it so. Something like that. And he was pointing right to what the Buddha was all about. Like, this is all of the chaos making mechanism in the world. We just think and think and think. And if you track your thoughts over the course of a day, over the course of a minute or an hour, you'll be like, I'm freaking insane. I'm all over the place. I'm on this roller coaster into La La Land. Things I gotta do. Things I shouldn't have said. Things I should have said. And it's usually the should mechanism in the works, right? That keeps us all in chaos and suffering. Like things, I'm perceiving things right now that they aren't as they should be, right? There's some mythical place called Should Land. And I'm not there, right? Ooh, these things keep falling out of my pocket like yesterday. So, anyway, this lesson made me think a lot of thoughts because all we have is now. And we can only make change from now. We can only turn off our thinking mechanism now. We can only find solutions to our own suffering now. And for me, usually that means putting myself in the just stop, time out meditation, just stop. Like, you're not going to, like, my mind isn't going to, like, think of, oh, like, if I'm deep in thought and really, you're not, like, my mind won't conjure up another thought as the antidote to that thought, like, to make me feel better. I just have to stop it. And I think we talked about this in another video that somebody made a great comment. It was like, oh man, I won't do it justice. I'm sorry about getting your hands muddy or being in the mud. Like, oh shoot, it was so good. I got to go look it up. I really appreciated that comment. So thank you if you're watching. That it was like, you can't apply more thinking, let's say more mud, to clean up a muddy situation. Or you can't stir the mud. Oh man, it was so good. I butcher everything. So I just realized I just gotta stop. Just turn it off. It's like putting yourself to bed and tomorrow's a new day. Until, and the Course in Miracles talks about this too, until like you truly can shift perspectives, because everything's a shift in perspective, right? From there's an objective truth to no, there's only my truth. And I'm responsible for the way I think and the thoughts I think and what I put out into the world for others to then react to, because a lot of us are reactionary, and that just stirs the mud, right? Like, what am I putting out into the world that's just stirring the mud? Stirring the mud. I'll just leave it with that. Bye.